Ever since I first saw Riverstar's name on that Super Edition poll back in 2021, I've never felt super excited for a Super Edition surrounding his character. He is kind of a nothing character, a side effect of the writing team strongly favoring the origin story of Thunderstar and Skystar in Dawn of the Clans. In their big story-defining battle at the end of Book 3, Riverstar's role was just, he sat back and watched it happen because he didn't have much stake in the outcome, which is understandable enough for something a minor character would do, but feels like a rather dull foundation to build something as large as a Super Edition out of. A book about a character without any strong convictions or morals would be just boring. We need something for him to care about and fight for. So what the writing team would have to do is create that from scratch, which could potentially be exciting, because having a new character conflict sounds more fun than rehashing an existing one. But that would involve having faith that the writing team is passionate enough about Riverstar specifically to make that for him, which I don't think they could manage. In terms of post-Dawn of the Clans content, I found the two novellas to be rather bland, and the Moth Light Super Edition to be quite messy. While books that tied in with the Vision of Shadows or Broken Code, while varying in quality, usually felt like they had more direction. I feel like the writing team and your average Warrior Cats fan are on the same page in the sense that their attention is more focused on the modern clans at any given time. Going back to Dawn of the Clans to tell a high quality story just requires an amount of care and re-evaluating of the original content that is likely more than the amount of resources that they're willing to put aside for it, considering they don't like to go back there often. If Dawn of the Clans was a big moneymaker, we wouldn't have all 3 story arcs published after it be taking place in the modern clans. Ever since Dawn of the Clans ended, the Warrior Cats team has been shifting more and more to focus on stories that can appeal to the more general audience by connecting to as many popular characters as possible, involving Bramblestar, Squirrelflight, Ashfur, Firestar, Greystripe, and other big names in the main story arcs, and making most Super Editions about Arc 1 and Arc 2 main characters, and by halting the writing on novellas, which tended to focus on more minor characters. Hawkwing, almost 7 years ago, was the last minor character to get his own Super Edition, and Riverstar was only chosen for a Super Edition after the idea was validated by an online poll. A poll that I have a feeling will be the last of its kind, because in spite of this fan support, there is no way this Riverstar Super Edition is selling well. The people accessing the website and making a Warrior Cats account are a fraction of the total population buying the books. The true superfans. They are the same crowd that novellas were targeted to, and novellas are no more. So the only thing that could save this Super Edition is standing out in a major way. Mapleshade comes to mind as a minor character to really make waves with a book release, and that was because she was a crazy, violent villain point of view, something unheard of in Warrior Cats. The preview for Riverstar's Home recently released, and it does not make me hopeful that he can pack a similar punch. His own dedicated book opens with less details about his backstory than a random bonus scene in Dawn of the Clans does, skipping over Cats of the Park development to jump straight into him falling in the river. And the book leans into him being sad about this, mostly because his mate Flutter is gone. Romance and Warrior Cats Super Editions are like lightning and thunder, which is to say, the moment you start reading a Warrior Cats Super Edition, you could start counting down the seconds until the romance subplot strikes. Point is, nothing happens in this preview that the book will need to set it apart. Of course, I'm not going to pass judgment until the book's final release. I purchase all Warrior Cats books, regardless of how I feel about them, and there is still plenty of chance this could be a good book. But trying to look from an outsider perspective, I think those out there that don't buy every Warrior Cats book will be likely to pass on this one. Riverstar just doesn't have enough to stand out, and I don't think the few who are crazy about him will be hyping him up enough to pull others in. I'd love to be wrong, but in my opinion, this book is doomed. Whether or not Riverstar was a better option for a Super Edition than Ivypool can only be determined if they ever make an Ivypool Super Edition. But as it stands, I think Ivypool is far more popular. She would have made so much more money, and I think leaving it to a poll was a bad financial decision. Alright, bye everyone.